Hey, 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 what's up, everybody? It's prime time. It's prime time. Well, actually, it's prime time on the West Coast, but we're on the East Coast. However, since my guest of the hour is on the West Coast, we're going to shout out prime time for her. But what I want to do is I want to let you hear a little bit of music. This is called Such a Lady, and it's by Miss Lyric, and she is out of Vegas.
S-U-C-H-A-L-A-D-Y, I'm such a lady. Got my standards so high, cause that's how mama raised me. I'm such a lady, run out of best, and you just can't tell me no less. S-U-C-H-A-L-A-D-Y, I'm such a lady. Got my standards so high, cause that's how mama raised me. Still such a lady, and I'm too legit. I'm too legit. I'm too legit to quit. Better not step to her unless you coming correct, cause she'll put you in check. Yeah, she got her own job, so she get her own check. To a weak man, she'll be a threat, but in reality, she really an asset. She ain't gonna settle for a piece of a man. She ain't gonna settle for a side chick, bro. She ain't gonna conduct herself like a thought. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Ain't nothing like a woman that know her work. Those that don't tolerate nonsense. Father for dudes claiming they haven't sent, but she peep game from the get-go. Tell her all the imitations to get go. But that fake in and that front end, she not impressed with your stunt in. Her wounds in, she clothed in, just trying to distract the chosen. She don't care about what you drove in. Can you captivate her mind? And if not, don't waste her time. It's your conversation, stimulating. If not, then end up conversation. S-U-C-H-A-L-A-D-Y, I'm such a lady. Got my standards so high, cause that's how mama raised me. I'm such a lady, run out of best, and you just can't tell me no less. S-U-C-H-A-L-A-D-Y, I'm such a lady. Got my standards so high, cause that's how mama raised me. Still such a lady, and I'm too legit. I'm too legit, yeah, I'm too legit to quit. She is not a thought, she keeps it classy, no matter what. Ain't gotta take pictures of her butt on the ground for likes and stuff. Women like this should be saluted. Intelligent, but ain't gotta prove it. Was a street chick, yeah, she used to do it. Done switch the game to a positive. If it need to be done, then she do it. No way in life like just do it. Even though she might be going through it, she never tapped out, keep on and do it. Knows how to press that mad to her. Even if she don't know what she doing, she make it look like she know what she doing. Women like this should be saluted. She know her worth, don't need a man. She's not a dime piece, she a right man. She's got to get to other man. Not thirsty for attention. Woman like this ain't average, cause she got more than self-respect. You never see her hate no other chicks, cause you know who she is, she confident. Yeah, S-U-C-H-A-L-A-D-Y, I'm such a lady. Got my standards so high, cause that's how mama raised me. I'm such a lady, run out of best, and just can't tell me no less. S-U-C-H-A-L-A-D-Y, I'm such a lady. Got my standards so high, cause that's how mama raised me. Still I'm such a lady, and I'm too legit. I'm too legit to quit.
Hey, too legit to quit. Wait a minute, y'all. I'm about to date myself. I'm really about to date myself, guys, because I remember the song Too Legit to Quit. Like, I used to be doing my dance through the house, and that joint used to go like this: too legit to quit. Hey, hey. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right, guys. So, like I said, this is a special edition prime time session. All things authentic, dating in the 21st century. Did y'all see it? I caught it because y'all know my tongue is stuck right here when I say authentic. But I said it today. Oh my God. It's probably because I have an educator beside me. And although she's a mathematician, yeah, we country. So sometimes the things we say don't sound like it might sound if y'all say it. But look, without further ado, before we start talking about dating in the 21st century, I want to shout out first responders. But before that, I want to bring in someone special. And this young lady is, I don't want to call her my understudy because she's not my understudy. She is my side study. Her name is Alex, and she is a sweetheart if I've ever met one. Sweetheart Alex, are you there?
Hey y'all, how are y'all?
Ooh. Oh
Uh-oh, you're in the show. What
no.
happened?
Oh, I can hear you. I can hear you. I think it was me.
Oh,
I think it was me. It was me. It was me.
okay. I was like, wait, what happened? I'm confused. Okay.
So now I'm really excited. So, Alex, welcome. Welcome to your first time on All Things Authentic. And guys, what we're going to do today is so Alex is going to be my co-host, right? And Alex, tell everybody a little bit about you. You can tell them kind of how we met, but don't tell them everything about how we met.
Okay. Does everyone know about the online isolation first?
So, yeah, they know it as a reality filming.
Okay. So
Uh-huh.
we'll go ahead and get that out the way. That is how me and Lil's met. We definitely more so. I was gonna say we met like night number 2,
Uh-huh.
but overall, I was gonna say that's really how we met. So my name is Alex. My whole name is Alexandria, and right now I live in Columbia, South Carolina. So I'm in boring South Carolina right now. Girl, South Carolina's whack. Anybody didn't know that? So yes, I will be on here also joining in the conversation. So, which is exciting here. So, Lils, thank you for bringing me on so we can
Always.
chat about different subjects and whatnot. So, yeah. So, what did I miss right now?
Always, always. And is my special friend around you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, are you gonna let us say hi?
Hold
Hi,
on.
friends.
So he is asleep right now. Thank God. It's
Okay,
time for a
okay.
nap, and I'm happy.
Absolutely, absolutely. So Alex, basically, I have someone here who compliments you. And I think you're gonna be very elated when you hear she is an educator as well. Alex is actually
Hey.
going more into education
Oh,
with the
hi.
upcoming year. So she's going to
Yes.
be new to it. But what we're going to do, guys, we want to pay homage to our educators as well as our first responders. And believe it or not, educators are first responders right now because they're still working. And this is compromising for public school educators who are in a classroom 185 to 192 days a year. And now they have to transpose everything into distance learning. So without further ado, please meet Holmes.
Hello.
Hey.
You tell us a little bit about life as an educator with this coronavirus. And we already know you can't get real lit, but you know.
To be honest, it's a little hard. I miss my babies. I have 153. I miss them all in the classroom. However, trying to work with them and family is public. Some have Wi-Fi, some have internet service, some are able to access their computer, some are not. So trying to be able to work with that child and that family, and we don't know what they go through. Like I have a family now. One, his mom has coronavirus, and it's hard on him. So it's crazy. It's a crazy lifestyle.
So, what are some of the things that you find yourself having to do though differently than you would do? Because I know it's one thing for us to be grad students and using Blackboard and stuff, but I mean, how do you do it? Because these kids, half of them can't read. So, well, I mean, but it's true. It's true. So, and I know for being in the classroom, you absolutely have to use differentiation of instruction. So that means you got to cater to your kinesthetic learners, hands-on learners, and then you have your visual learners. But how does that work for you? Like, what apps do you have to use?
To be honest, it's hard. Now, one thing for me in my classroom, in class, I always use different technology because I am big on technology.
Okay.
my hopes is trying to get every kid used to some type of technology for school. One of the big platforms that we use is Schoology. But another great program is Edpuzzle, because it's not only for kids who's hands-on or just visual, it's for everybody. Different activities, different things you want them to do. It just takes time to prepare it, but it's there for you. I will say that it's there for you. It's just crazy because you like I said, you never know what the kid's going through.
I understand. I definitely understand. So I guess the question would be, how do you make certain that the kids are truly learning, or can you do that like you would, because I guess in my mind, this is what I'm saying. I'm seeing a child sitting in front of a computer trying to do work and just like, and it's not like they can raise their hand and say, Miss Holmes, can you help me? And then it's also not like when we were in school, well, when I was in school, because y'all came through school at a different time. When I was in school, we still were doing math the old way. So my mom and dad, could help to a certain extent because my parents were old. So, now a lot of parents even post, I can't help my child with this stuff because they doing it a different way.
That's true. That's totally true. To be honest, you don't know if a child learning. As for myself, I reached out to all my kids. Half of my kids have my phone number, and these days most kids have iPhones. So I tell a child, you're more than welcome to FaceTime me during certain hours of the day, and I'll help you. I'll come on. I'll help you the best way I can. I have a whiteboard at home, so I hold my whiteboard up and we go to work. But then some teachers don't offer that. You don't know what's going on in their life.
That's true.
So it's hard. I'll be honest, say you don't know if that child's not reaching out to you. You don't know if that child really learning or really know anything. You just praying that he is paying attention and learning.
Right.
So Alex, on your side, because I know on your side, it's more administrative, but did you find yourself coming in contact with a lot of parents outside of the schools now that you guys are in?
Not to be honest, no. I stayed in contact with them through social media because some of them I know outside of the school.
Gotcha. Okay.
We have stayed in contact through my Snapchat, Facebook, depending on the parent. And a lot of them have accepted reality right now, but at first they were like, dang, I cannot believe that this how we finishing the school year out. Like they not coming back to school for the rest of the year, so they're concerned that their child's going to be behind the next school year. And that's probably true. They might be a little bit behind, if they, I mean, I think most parents have just accepted that this is how the school year going to end, especially now that we in May and we only had like less than a month left at this point in school. They just kind of like, it is what it is. Unfortunately, like, I don't know how they're doing it in different states, but in our state, and I don't really care for this, but they're not giving grades. The kids are doing their work online, but they're not giving grades. So there's no incentive for the child to do the work because they know they're not going to get a grade for it. Well, elementary wise, high school, I think they're doing it differently, but I don't know about high school. But I think some of their stuff is getting graded, but I don't know how that works. But elementary, I feel like it's not a lot of incentive to do the work because they know, okay, I'm not getting graded for it. So they're like, oh, I don't have to do the work. And then think about for parents that don't care about it.
Yeah, that's true.
They're not going to make the child do the work if they know they're not getting graded for it. They're not going to be okay.
That's it.
Some parents will. Some parents be on top of it like, hey, no, we still getting work done regardless. They don't even come to PTO meetings. So why in the world and come to meet the teachers, can't even tell you the teacher name. So why do you think they would make them do their work?
Yeah, I agree. I think that's the biggest problem overall is that we have not just here, everywhere. We have so many parents that don't care. Even back where I'm from, it's so many parents that don't care to push their kids. Like I can be on Facebook or whatever looking, I'm saying, okay, this child has been outside all day long. Have you thought about sitting the child down, to do some math problems, reading, writing. And there's so many different websites that will help your child without having a teacher there, without having anybody there. There's so many websites that will help a child. It's just for a parent or guardian to go out and look. Hey, we need to do this today. We need to do that today.
Right.
You need to do this today. And I'm not a parent, but that's something I would do if I was a parent. Even with my nieces and nephews, I'm like, hey, math time, reading time. It's no play all day long. It's let's do some work time.
That's it.
Then you can play.
That's it.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this. Where we are now is that we are in a norm, guys, and I'm gonna keep it a stat. This has become the new norm. Did I ever think that I would see the day that I was content sitting in my house chilling all day? No. But for real, it's here. However, there is a challenge. There is a challenge for single women. I'm not talking about men folk. They not here. They not right here. But for single women, there is a challenge. And that's really what we want to jump in and start to talk about a little bit. So one of the things I want to do is, dating in the 21st century, let me tell you guys a little bit about how this whole session started. The dating in 21st century session started because I was a part of a couple of groups. And basically what happened in these groups is that we were talking about, well, why is this happening and why is that happening? And so, men, why is it that you say you want a good woman, but yet you continue to find this? And women saying the same thing. And what are your non-negotiables? And if a man can't financially sustain you, do you want to be with him? And if a woman, don't give up the booty on the first night. All those type things. So I said, you know what? I got something for that. What we're going to do is we're going to talk about dating in the 21st century, and we're going to get lit. We're going to get lit, but we're going to get lit in a good way, because the litness that I want to come out of this is I want, and I'm not going to put on my Leo's glasses. That's an inside joke. I'm not going to put them on for this. On Tuesday nights, I put the Leo's glasses on. But I really want to just have a conscious conversation amongst us, because the people hear from me all the time. But I think hearing from you guys and hearing from people that were raised differently, because a lot of people don't really think about the fact that the way you were reared as a child is greatly going to impact your dating life. And so the first thing I want to do, and Holmes, I'm going to defer to you. I want to first ask you, in dating or when you're selecting a prospective partner, what are your non-negotiables? What are the things you're not going to have? You refuse to have.
My biggest non-negotiable. Wow. This is a hard one. I can't go for no one who don't have.
I know. Preach.
Who doesn't have goals? I feel like that. If you don't have goals, if you don't have anything to work towards, what are we dating for? And this can be life goals. Like one of my first questions is, what's your 5-year goal? What is your 10-year goal? Like, what do you see yourself doing in 10 years? What do you see yourself doing in 5 years? And then you can't answer those two. What do you see yourself doing in 3 years? And if you're struggling to say what you're doing in 3 years, we need to rethink some things here, because it's all about taking a pen and a piece of paper, writing it down. I want to see this and this. And I tell people, when I was 16, 17, I took out a piece of paper and I said, by this age, I want to have this. By this age, I need to be here. And surprisingly, I'm checking as I go, but that is a life goal I made. So one thing about me is you got to have goals. You got to have something you're working towards, and you got to have a job.
Oh, is that so?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So, all right. Okay. So, a job. Now, with this job situation, are you saying that they need to have a sustainable job, or can they have a job that maybe they work Monday and then they go to work Thursday and then
Whatever, if that job supports them, that's fine.
Okay. This is what I'm about to say is because some jobs have it where you work Monday, off Tuesday, Wednesday, don't work Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, whatever, and they support them. That is totally fine. Now, if you hinting at cutting grass on Monday, on Saturday, it's not raining
because they're in business, and I'm not knocking business owners, but I think we need to redefine entrepreneurship and business owners. I think, and that's a Tuesday night talk. But people, stop telling people you got your own business if you don't have at least one long-term client. Okay, but anyway, so yeah, non-negotiables. Okay, the job. So when you say job, you mean legitimate?
Yes.
Okay, legitimate. Let's make sure we define that. Legitimate job. Definitely. Okay, so Alex, what would your non-negotiables be?
Dang, I have many.
Okay.
Dang, where I'll start. Okay. For real, my standards are pretty high, but for one, because I'm goal oriented, I don't feel like I'm gonna ever be one of those people that will settle. Even if I'm good where I am, you can always be doing better. You can always do, try to reach a new goal. So I need my man to try to do that too. Now, if you happy where you are, that's fine as long as you're saying I'm gonna continue to be the best that I can be. That's the goal, to try to continue to better who you are. But if you looking at me crazy like goals, what that mean? Like
right.
What? So I need an ambitious, driven man because that's just what I need.
Driven man, I like that.
I can't do ignorance. I don't want no ignorant, not well-rounded man. I'm sorry, I can't. Some men feel like they be with women. Women can teach them. I teach kids, not men. So I can't. I can't do it. I don't do ignorance. Google is free. If you don't know something, you can look it up. It's no excuse. If you're gonna pay for a smartphone, use that internet on there. So I can't do ignorance. I can't do stupidity. I can't do dumb. Like, I feel like I need to have all kind of conversations with you. We can have a deep conversation. We can have a funny, crying till we laughing conversation, and I like to have an intellectual conversation. But you cannot have an intellectual conversation with somebody that don't know nothing though.
That's true. Very true.
If you say all kind of silly stuff to me, that's non-negotiable because I just because I feel like I'm losing brain cells talking to you, and I just can't have that for myself.
Okay.
For real, I'm like, look, you know what? I feel so imbalanced right now. I'm done talking to you about this anyway. Like somebody last night, you know who I'm talking about, Lils. He just said the lawyers need to start giving a death penalty. I said lawyers don't give death. Can't take it. When the lawyers don't do sentencing. So anyway, had to move on from. I just couldn't. But stupid stuff like that. But that's stupid.
See, that don't sound like me. Don't it like I promise you, my best friend. Shout out to Jamila Harris of Melanin Messages. But Jamila said one day we were all sitting around talking, and she said, "See, Lillie is the one where." She'll come in your house and talking about if I'm dating a guy, and if your toothbrush is sitting somewhere and she don't like it, I can't do it. But what she meant by that was like it's really big stuff. Now this is crazy. I can deal with the lack of big stuff, but it's little things that irritate me.
Because you
like inconsistency irritates me. To me, those type things you can't put a price tag on. So your inconsistency will irritate the stone hell out of me, right? And I'm not dealing with it. I'm not dealing with it. But ladies, we talked about non-negotiables.
Oh wait, I got one more.
Oh, come on, because we got our West Coast. We got our special guest from the West Coast in the house.
Oh well, I got so the next one is I used to say I would never do men that have kids already, but the older I'm becoming, I realized that more men in my age group already at least have one child. So I was like, okay, cool. But we cannot have drama with the baby mama. That has to be squared away. Y'all have
I agree.
I don't do no baby mama drama, ex-wife drama, none of that. I don't, all that it has to be boundaries between you and the baby mama too. It can't be, well, I want to get them Tuesday and she wanted to get them like that. Y'all need to have some boundaries. Y'all need to co-parent.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, viewers everywhere. Our special guest from the great state of California has arrived. And she is the lady of the hour. And we are going to bring her in and we're going to continue the conversation. We're going to continue the conversation. So if you're watching, please start a watch party, share the live, invite your friends. But you know what? Invite men. Invite men. Because I think the problem is when we're having these conversations, other females are watching us. We don't need to hear from each other.
Right.
And trust and believe. I'm about to bring some men on next Thursday, and it's gonna get lit. Because the reality is that honestly, I feel like I wear the pants in the majority of my relationships. So I might need for them to tell me what I need to do because clearly we living in a society where we are independent women. You know, and it's hard for us to sometimes relinquish the control that our God-given control, because I don't care what nobody say. Y'all need to understand what submission really means. You need to be able to lead before you expect a woman to submit. Holla if you hear me. So, without further ado, let me bring in Lady J from CALI, Cali, baby. Hey!
Hey! Hello, everyone. Hello.
Yay.
Don't get blinded by my sunlight now.
You know what? Hold up. Don't come on here with that highfalutin West Coast stuff because you know y'all highfalutin over there.
Oh, it's hot.
Welcome, baby. Welcome.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
In the 21st century, the prime time session. And please understand, it's prime time on the West Coast, not for us. But look, let's just jump right in.
Okay.
So, Lady J, Lady and I met, like I said, in a group, and we were, we see memes and we see questions and comments. And so we connected over a couple of different comments. Some of those comments are like, well, women don't cook, and if women don't do this, and if women don't do that, and I don't want her. And I'm thinking to myself, well, do you have half the stuff that you want this woman to have? Because you can't be asking for all the stuff if you don't have it. So what we want to do, Lady J, is we're gonna put you in the hot seat, but my special ladies here are also going to chime in as well. So you have Alex with her natural curls, and this is her slayed and laid, and you already know what time it is with the blue lagoon. So I'm really, really honored to have you and to even, because look, when people say they're from California, and then when y'all be talking to me and making me feel like I'm somebody, the country girl from Virginia, baby, I feel like somebody, baby. Yes. But let's jump right in, because we were talking about, but I want to take it to a different place with you, because I feel like you and I share a little bit different than these young ladies. So tell me about dating maybe a decade ago.
Okay, so
yeah,
we were
in the early 2000s, before all of this social media stuff. Tell me a little bit about what dating looked like for you then.
Well, honestly, dating has always been, for me, I've always been an online, I'm not going to say always. I've been an online dater. I'm okay because I like to because I had my children at a very young age, and going out to the clubs and going out and being out and dating, it just really, I didn't want to do that because I wanted to be at home with my children. So I always would chat. And if it got interesting or if you held my conversation, then okay, then I might use some of my minutes from my cell phone and give you a call. You remember?
Right. They don't know nothing about that. They don't know about it for real. If they know about it, they probably was just laying there sneaking and texting when we were really texting.
Right. And at that time we did have a house phone. You did use your house phone. So I mean, I did definitely, but it was a lot longer. It took a lot longer to connect and to understand, and you really didn't have any catfish. You know what I'm saying? So pretty much you could trust who was on the other end of the phone because they were pretty much who they were because they didn't really do the catfishing now what they do now.
That's it.
And so what I've noticed is now I can't even believe. I'm like, you were talking to somebody for like 3, 4, 7 years before you even seen them, or you haven't seen them, and we didn't have FaceTime, or we didn't have Facebook, or we didn't have we had MySpace. Oh God, I'm not telling you my age, but
Oh my God. You say MySpace?
yes, I said MySpace. And that's what we had. You know, so we didn't have, so you couldn't see. So I don't understand how these young ladies or how us young women are actually being drawn into having a relationship or having a conversation with somebody for months and literally not seeing their face. Even when I was dating 10, 12 years ago, I still was like, okay, well, we've been talking for a good 2, 3 weeks. Do you want to go have a drink? Do you want to go meet for lunch? Do you want to have? And if you didn't, then you just didn't. Or if you didn't hold my interest, you just didn't hold my interest, and the conversation just ceased. But now it's totally different. Where I don't understand, and people are actually sending. I'm like, dang. How much money could I have got if you didn't see my face and you're just sending people money now because you liked them? You know?
I think you made some valid points. The interesting thing is, do you remember you literally had to code your MySpace page? And I'm thinking, if we really were smart back then for real,
Right.
we would have committed all of that stuff to memory. They were teaching us programming with our MySpace pages. And I cannot remember anything I did back then creating those pages. Because I mean, the font was really, really little. I remember. And Black Planet. Hello, somebody.
Lord.
Hello, somebody.
Yeah.
I just remember the monochrome letters. Like, that's how crazy they make all this fancy stuff.
Yeah.
But let's fast forward.
I know this girl I went to college with. She recently had to get lawyers and stuff because this guy tracked her down from California because somebody was taking her pictures. She's real pretty, was taking her pictures and scamming men. A man sent the cat, whoever was using her pictures, $5,000. Well, he finally tracked her down, the real her. And so she said she got this other page shut down, but he already sent whoever it was money to the account. So he started stalking her, and he found out that he was catfish, but he wanted her to pay the $5,000 back to him.
What?
So yeah, I think he's
he's a fool.
Yeah.
Right. No. Mm-mm.
And she told him, she said, I don't owe you that because you sent somebody that you never saw, you never met, $5,000 because you thought you were looking at me, and so that I don't feel like I should pay you that back. And so he found her address and was like, well, don't forget, I found out where you live and I can come by there. So she had to get law enforcement, everything involved.
Wow.
and they had to duke it out, but they were basically told him, she doesn't owe you $5,000. You never sent her money.
Right.
That's what we're not gonna do.
That's crazy.
What we're not gonna do. Yeah. But see, but it goes back to something you said, Lady J. At what point do people stop? Because let me tell you something. I meet somebody online, FaceTime me. Oh, I don't have no iPhone. Duo me, because I got an iPhone and an Android baby boy.
Right. This is the
you ain't about to come kill me, and I don't know who you are.
Right.
And even when you do go on the first date, we have always told 1, 2, 3, hey, look, I'm gonna take this picture of this man. This is who I'm with right now, y'all. And I'm sending it, you know, and 9 times out of 10, your girlfriend knows where you're at, who you're going to see. They've seen a picture of the person that you're going to see, so you feel a whole lot safer.
See, let me tell you, the thing about me is I got this one best friend. And see, I can talk about her. Cause see, I talk about her in her face, and she talk about me in my face, and we fall out and fight, and then we love each other and all this. But see, I got this one best friend, and y'all, she crazy. I'm gonna keep it straight up, but she knows she crazy. She don't play. Like I messaged her. I'm going to such and such and such and such. Lillie, I ain't for no shit. I am not, and that's her. That is her. Like she literally had forewarned me about guys that she knew nothing about. She just saw them and was like, I don't like them. And so in my mind, I'm like, well, bestie, you don't like nobody like that. So, but for real, every guy that she has initially not liked has ended up being bad for me. So, you know, I say that to say we have to alert our support system. We have to alert our support system because if not, we could be like the what was her name? Oh my gosh, the girl that went off. What was it? Matthews girl. Was it up in no, that was the guy's last name. But you know the girl up in the mountains, up in like northwestern Virginia, and she went missing and stuff like that, meeting people online and things like that. So, you know, my mom always say, "Oh, y'all don't be meeting them folks off the internet." But the crazy thing is, sometimes you meet awesome people, you network with people, but you really don't know. That's why you need to have those face-to-face conversations and interactions. So I definitely believe that. But LadyJ, tell me.
The thing is, me and someone at the grocery store, they can still be crazy. You can meet them at the grocery store, at the mall, at the club, and they can still be food.
Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I can meet somebody, like meet people out on the street or whatever, meet a guy in the grocery store, and we can talk, have conversation, go out on a date or whatever. And my best friend would still know about it because, like, I met you in the streets. You know, you can be crazy, and I'll tell him about the first date or whatever. You might not show your craziness, so I'm gonna keep telling her until I feel comfortable. Okay, we're at that point where I don't think you're as crazy as you or you could have been or whatever. So, yeah, you never know if somebody crazy or not.
So let me ask you this, because we're talking crazy. Y'all already know where I'm coming from with this. All right. So would you ask someone the question, and this is for viewers as well. Would you ask someone, tell me a little bit about your family, and do y'all have like any pressing medical issues, or do you have any mental illness in your family? Because really, I'm looking for the mental illness.
I'm gonna be honest with you and say, before we take it to that level, I probably already researched and found out if you have mental illness problems, if something, you know, I don't want on your Facebook page or whatever, clicked your different sisters, brother, mom, dad, went through and look, you know, just to be honest, because you're gonna lie. I'm be honest.
Yeah.
9 out of 10 guys gonna lie about it. You know, they're not gonna say, well, my sister is this, or my mom or my dad is bipolar, or so. Before you said, I probably would have went somewhere and checked and see. Oh, okay, you know, just to see, are you gonna tell the truth? Are you gonna tell the truth or not?
So I'm gonna be honest with you. I tell people straight up, look. So you know, my family crazy. We all crazy. We all got a little crazy in us. But I think the questions that I generally ask are questions such as, okay, you know, has anybody in your family been institutionalized, or do you have anybody in your family that your family sent off and you really don't get to see them? Because you know, back in the day, our parents and grandparents, when we had family members that had, you know, mental illnesses or intellectual disabilities and even developmental disabilities, you never saw those family members, right? You didn't see those family members.
Or their mental illness was brushed under the rug.
Absolutely, but they sent them off. They sent them away. And I can remember, I wasn't born, but I can remember my mom and my aunts and everybody. And you know, they were talking about my great aunt Hattie, and she had spells. Well, what I know now is that those spells were nothing but epilepsy. But epilepsy sent her into another, a little interference there. The epilepsy sent her into another situation, so to speak, and it just really got out of hand to the point where they had to call the police to get her. And the last time that they called the police, when she had a spell, they took her to Central State, which, guys, Central State is the major psych hospital here in Virginia. And she died there. I think she had a spell, they said, and she hit her head on a radiator and she died.
Wow.
That was, oh God, that was years ago, way before.
That's the thing. Back then, we didn't know how to deal with it.
That's true.
You know, growing up back then, saying stuff like that, you didn't know how to deal with it.
You didn't.
Older back then, when I was small, they didn't know how to deal with it.
They didn't.
And today's time, it's many, many, many ways you can deal with it. And yeah, I tell people, I'm asking that question. That's a question I'm going to ask. I need to know, because if I have a child by you, I need to make sure I know what I'm dealing with this child. You know, both family background.
Absolutely. So, ladies, all right, I'm gonna come to you, Alex. So my question for you is going to be, what is your experience with dating like now in the age of social media? What is your experience with dating like now in the age of social media?
Oh boy, that's a earful. Y'all ready? So I met my ex, the one that you like so much, actually on social media. And it turned out to be a good relationship. As you can see, we're just not together for the distance part, but he turned out to be a great guy. But I met him on social media. I didn't intend to. We were just talking, and it just kind of happened to develop into a relationship. I think that people have this thing where, oh no, don't be dating on the internet. But I think it's the same as if I met somebody in
the bar,
in a club or something. You can be crazy on the internet, you can be crazy in the grocery store. Either way, I have to get to know you.
I agree.
But the only thing is, so social media, I don't feel like it really takes away from traditional dating like people think it does. I don't think so. But there is a dark side to the internet too. Unfortunately, now you have access for people that say you go on a date with them and you reject them or you tell them you like them like that. The social media gives them access to start stalking you now. A lot of women have dealt with that. I don't know if y'all read stories and stuff, but a lot of women have dealt with that now, where guys that go on dates with or want to date them have now access to start stalking them online. They may not know where they live or work, but they know their profiles and stuff too. So
indeed.
Yeah, so there's pros and cons to dating online. For me, from a personal experience, I've not had any issues with it, except for a minor stalker that I recently had to get rid of, but I didn't meet him on the internet. I met him in high school. But you see what I'm
saying? Yeah. Got it. So, LadyJ, we know that you had some technical difficulties, but it's all good. So you talked to us about dating historically, and it was a lot different. Tell us a little bit about what it's like dating now in comparison to back then.
Well, dating now is a lot. It's a lot harder because everybody is kind of set in their own ways. Well, and I'm gonna say it's a lot harder because we're older and we are set in our ways, and we've had bad relationships. And we, of course, know we've had bad relationships, and those relationships, of course, are going to fender and tender and go into the new relationships, unfortunately. And that's why I say it's a lot harder, not just because you're older, you're set in your ways, you're figuring out still who you are after a broken relationship. Because after you're broken, or after you've been in a relationship where you've been broken or you were hurt, whatever it could have been, my ex-husband and I, we didn't divorce because he cheated. We divorced because he just didn't do, and it was just, so it was not about the cheating. It was about what we can do for each other. Because nowadays which I wish that we should and we can, and I do teach our daughters, it's not about what that person can do for you. It's about what you two can do for each other. You know, and this is
Okay.
what I think is not just, I do believe it is definitely something that we need to teach our daughters. And I don't care if you're black, green, yellow, white, I don't care. We have to teach our daughters
Absolutely.
that
Right.
when you're with someone, yes, there's not a problem with being submissive. However, that person also has to be submissive to you. And are you genuinely
Right.
giving 100% of yourself? And are you allowing for there to be improvement? And that's where the problem comes in, because we're so stuck in our ways and we don't like people to give us corrective criticism, as they would say. You understand what I'm
Well,
saying? And
absolutely.
and we have to be open to corrective criticism, because if you don't, then how are you going to learn and grow within yourself? If you want to, not because you're dating somebody and you want them to change you or you're changing for them, but you're changing because you want to, not because somebody else asked you to.
Okay, so that brings me to another question and point. So, you know, we often hear people say, "Oh, he keeps me. Oh, he just makes me feel whole." I'm confused because I feel like a lot of our troubles are the direct result of us not being whole, going into these relationships, or us not feeling complete within ourselves before we start hooking up with these men. That's why we choose some of the men we choose, because we dealt with the things that we need to deal with. So I say that to ask the question. What are some of the things you feel like, and Lady J, I'm gonna defer to you first. What are some of the things you feel like you ultimately need to feel enhanced? I'm not gonna say complete, enhanced, because listen, your partner should complement you, not supplement you. Your partner should complement you. And for those of you that don't know how to spell, using PIECE for PAECE and all that, complement, COM as in Mary, PLE as in every, MENT. That complement is an enhancement, not a compliment with the I. Okay, sorry. Okay, Lady J. What are some of the things you feel like you need to, you know, feel enhanced with a partner?
When you're feeling enhanced, you just, okay, I want something. I not necessarily I want something for myself to better myself. Okay, for example, let's just take education. Okay, so I want to go back to school. I know I have the ability to go back to school, and I did. But in my interim of me doing this task that I want to do, the support comes from that person saying, you can do it. Hey, where do you need help at? Oh, my computer broke down. I need you to go do this and that. That is the enhancement. That is the support. It's not necessarily, oh, you complete me. And I'm thinking, if we really think about it, this comes from years ago. Think about it. Back when our parents used to play them records, oh, he respects me, I love him, and oh, I can't tell you no music because I'm not a music person, but all the records that we listen to is I need him, he completes me, he finishes me. No, you don't need anything but yourself. You need to be complete within yourself. And what you're doing for me is you're helping me to be a better person, because I want to be a better person. And you do the same for that person, because they may say, oh, I want to have a restaurant. Okay, cool. So now we got your degree. Let me go and let's figure out how we can work together, and let me get my restaurant now. So it's not necessarily you're enhancing each other. You're supporting each other, because I got what I wanted. And when you were there for me in every aspect, in whatever I wanted to accomplish, I may wanted to learn how to build whatever, or teach me how to plant, or I mean, just whatever. Or even if, hey, let's go on a trip together. I want to go to the freaking Bahamas. But how do you do that together? How is that together. And that's what I feel is that enhances you. Because I don't need you. I don't need you. What did they say? I can do
Right.
battle by myself. You don't make
Absolutely.
me a better, you don't make me a better person. We enjoy each other because that's who we're with. And we go
Mm.
with what we want. And if that's what we want, then I choose you to be here because you're giving me that mental support.
Okay, okay. And I think ladies, if you're watching, and fellas too, I think we need you to understand that we shouldn't have to chase. I
Hmm.
think now it's so funny. Men want to be chased. Like, where they do that?
Why?
I, I don't know, what that's all about. But I think that what I want you to understand that we are the catch. Now, I ain't gonna say all of us are the catch, but amongst the four of us, I feel like the four of us, we are the catch because we are continuously evolving through our traumas and hurts, right?
Mhm.
And I think that when you can acknowledge that you are flawed, that's what makes you the catch.
Mhm.
Being flawed does not disqualify you. Being flawed and not acknowledging that you're flawed disqualifies you. But if you can acknowledge your flaws, if you can say, you know what, I'm broken, but I'm in the process of healing, and I want you to support me through this process. When you
Mhm.
can do that, I feel like at that point, that's when you can start to make demands. Okay, well, let's do this, let's do that. So,
Mhm.
Alex, what about you? What are some of the things you feel like you need to feel enhanced by your partner?
I would say giving me a new perspective on things, like give me a different view on things, because then that'll help me better myself if I can just look at it from a
Okay.
different perspective other than just my own.
Okay.
About anything. It can be about work, um, school. It can be about anything. I like for somebody to kind of, not gonna say challenge me. Well, I guess in a way challenge, but like make me see a different perspective on things.
Okay.
Because I feel like that'll help me get better at my craft, as well as even with how to, building relationships with people, whatever it is. Sometimes seeing a
Absolutely.
different perspective allows you to move different. And that's what I want from a partner, and support. So when I say support, not like, oh, well, stay at home, I'll pay all the bills. Not that kind of support, but like, not that kind of, even though some men classify that as support, that's not support. That's taken care of. Is a big difference. But
Ooh. All right.
support, yeah, that's taking care of. That's not supporting. Like, let's be clear. But I need support. Like, if I'm
Mental.
going to do something, be behind me. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay,
Mhm.
yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Or if it's not a good, if it sounds bogus, let me know. But like, yeah,
Honesty.
that's a good idea. Let me
Honesty.
help you get this
Absolutely.
together.
Support and honesty. So S&H does not have to stand for shipping and handling. It stands for support and honesty. Let's do it.
Right, because if
Okay.
it sound
Okay.
if it sound crazy, don't be like, okay, well, I'm gonna support her and say it sound good. If it don't, just be like, hey,
Right.
let's be honest.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, all right. So, I'm gonna defer to you because I know that, since we've been friends, we have leaned on one another, at different times. And I think that one of the things that I've noticed about you is that you are definitely able to walk your friends through the hurting and healing process. Guys, and I don't want to get too personal, but I'm sitting beside a soldier. I think it's safe to say that I watched this person bounce back from a hurt that I believe probably would have broken the average person. I watched this individual bounce back from losing the love of her life and not even knowing that she had lost the person until the person was found. So for her to be able to tell me I'm going to survive after I lost my mind behind somebody that I should have never even been with in the first place, it took for her and my best friend to basically tell me, what is wrong with you? Like, what the hell are you doing? Why are you laying your life down for somebody that just lay down? And so I defer to you to answer this question, because I feel like you actually found somebody that, I don't want to say complete you, but you found somebody that was your total complement. How do you come back from that? Does it affect you with dating now?
It's hard, and it's crazy because I'm sitting here and today make 3 years. So yeah, today makes 3 years. But overall, it's hard. Alice, I'm with you. It's hard. Like, he was a supporter. He was, what I needed. Like, I'm that person. Don't tell me, oh, it sounds great when it's a horrible idea. Don't tell me that, oh yeah, you should go do that, when you know deep down inside that was the worst idea ever. Like, be honest. Make sure I'm able to come back with a, oh, you're right, and or make me think about, yeah, that was very dumb. Like, what was I thinking? Or, yeah, I shouldn't have did that. Even if I do it, like, I know I can say you was right and I was totally wrong. I'll admit that. But it's a hard comeback. But I tell you about a lady is strong. We are very strong. Absolutely. And with dating now, our problem is that we get so attached to somebody that we let them take over us. We want the best for them, but then forget about the best for us.
Absolutely.
And I mean, even coming back, I would see that's one of the things is dating now. I want the best for whoever I'm talking to, but then do they really want the best for me? Like, it's, and I know I had the best that ever happened to me, but God plan was different. And I just have to live with that. But it's true. It's totally true. You're looking for that person to support you, enhance you. Like, and I'm with you. I don't want nobody who pay all my bills. I don't want nobody who tell me I can stay at home. They'll take care of me. No, that's where a lot of females go wrong, because allowing you to take care of me is like I'm dependent on you.
And you control, and they have control. And
that's correct. Control. I don't want you to think, oh, well, you waiting on me to get paid so you can do this, and I'm going to control what you do with my. No. You can take care of me, or you can help me, but I'm going to always be out there to get my own. I'm going to always be, I went after what I wanted. You're not going to say I let her stay at home and she has like 4 degrees and she just laying around the house. No. I'm putting those degrees to work. So the day you tell me that you're out, I can show you I can take care of myself on my own.
Absolutely.
I can support myself.
Absolutely. And I think that's what we need to focus in on, because at the end of the day, we have a lot of oomph as Black women. And I'm sorry, I'm a Black woman, so I got to say, as Black women, we have a lot of oomph as Black women. And I think that we have to acknowledge our ancestors, because Black women went through some stuff, from being raped, beaten, our men being snatched away from our family. And I want to throw this out there before we talk about the final question that I have. I want you to really quieten your hearts and listen to what I'm getting ready to say. From the beginning of time, and when I say from the beginning of time, I'm talking about from the beginning of our significance relative to when slavery was enacted. Adopted. Black men were ripped away from their families. They didn't know where they were going. All they knew was that bye-bye. All right. Next generation, the young Black men, the sons of those men, grow and get a little stronger, and they go to the picnic. Y'all know what the picnic is? Pick a nigga. So then more Black men are ripped away from their families. So guys and gals, I want you to think about that as we discuss dating in the 21st century, and as we look at how easy it is for men to walk away from their families, but also how hard it is for men to commit. And the question I want to ask each of you to answer briefly is, can you see how the traumatic effects of slavery are feeding and infiltrating through generations? Because from the beginning, Black men were ripped away from their families. So mentally, in my opinion, and this is my opinion, and remember, opinions are like buttholes, everybody have one. But in my opinion, Black men are used to this. So it's easy for them to walk away from their families, and it's hard for them to commit because in the back of their mind, I'm going to be taken away anyway, whether it's in the streets, by their own kind, or whether it's by their counterparts. So, Alex, I'm going to open up to you and ask you, how do you feel about that?
Okay, so this is my last question because I got to take Ben's out to use the bathroom. But I feel like it definitely rooted from slavery, and I think also it's repeated patterns too. Like if their family wasn't, like if one of their parents wasn't in their life, and they feel like, okay, well, I came out okay, I don't have to be there. So a lot of it definitely is rooted from slavery, and then it was a continuation on to kind of a new approach, like, okay, now we're repeating patterns, or cycles or whatever from one generation to the next too.
Okay. And you know what, Alex, I agree, and we definitely want to take Ben's out because Ben's will be tripping. But Alex, we definitely want you back. We want you back again. So we continue these intellectual conversations. And next time, I'm gonna put them up.
Well, just let me know. It was nice to meet you, ladies. I hope y'all have a good rest of y'all's day.
You do the same. All right, darling. Talk to you later. All right, Lady J, what is your take on it? How do you feel about
it? I'm like, yes, I definitely will have to agree, and I'm going to go further into that. And it comes from now society. So now we can't take them out of slavery. So what are we going to do? We're going to take them off the streets. And of course, we can go back into, and I'm just going to go back to the 80s where, okay, crack was over there. And we're going to feed all these Black men this crack. We're going to feed all these Black men because we don't want these Black men here. What do we want these Black men here for? Because we know a Black man in society is stronger than the world can. No telling what a Black man. And if you allow the Black man to pick up a book and get a little bit of education, now we got a problem. So what are we going to do? We got a racial profile, right? We got a racial profile. Oh, you writing down. I don't care if you brown, Black, Asian, but we're going to racial profile you. So now we're going to pull you over because we got to arrest you because you did something. I don't know what you did. And this is what my counterparts, I said, look, I need you to stop doing these, the real IDs. Well, you have to have a real ID in order to travel. No, you don't. You don't have to have a real ID. Go get your damn passport and stop playing games. See, they don't want you to have a passport because they don't want you to go to other country. But they want you to have a real ID so they can have your social security number. They can have all your background. They can have your criminal record. And because they want to idolize and they want to be able to track you once they pull you up on their dang on computer. But I believe, honestly, I don't care what you do. They're trying to, since they can't beat you anymore, they can't kill you anymore, they can't lynch you anymore. We know it's still happening, but I'm saying we're going to arrest you. We're going to put you behind bars. We're not going to teach you anything because all these little black kids, they got ADHD, they got autism, they got this, they got that. They're stupid. They need a 504 plan. They need an IEP plan. They need all of this because you know why? These little black boys are stupid because they don't want to learn. I mean, I'm just keeping it real. I'm sorry, but it's just, I see it. Especially, I have a 10-year-old little boy. And the first thing that they said at 5 is he has ADHD. Why does he have ADHD? Because you guys won't sit down there and teach him? The lady called me. I'm at work. She called me. She said, we need you to talk to your son. He's doing inappropriate things. And when you hear the word inappropriate, you're like, well, is he playing with himself? What is he doing?
Right.
He's making farting noises in class. If you don't tell that little boy to sit down and shut his little ass up, I'm gonna come up there and whoop your ass. Do you hear me? Like, seriously, you caught me because he was being a boy?
Right.
But that's the type of stuff that we have to go through.
Absolutely.
As mothers, and we have to raise these little boys because the daddy, like I said, he was taken away from the home. He didn't have a daddy, or the daddy was locked up, or the daddy wasn't there. So what do we have to do? We have to make it up some type of way.
Wow. You just spoke volumes. Like, I think those are conversations we have all the time. And you know what, LadyJ? We're going to have another conversation because I think that one of the things I really want to discuss, and it's probably going to step on some toes, I want to discuss these mothers and these boys.
Mm-hmm.
I'm watching a lot of grown men be coddled. And they're coddled to the point that it is crippling. See, this is what I want you guys to understand before we close out. There's a difference between, SMI, which is severe mental illness,
mm-hmm.
and a personality disorder. And the reason I'm saying this is because you have people that are so mentally ill to the point where they have to be institutionalized for the rest of their lives. But then you have people that can function in society with these personality disorders. But then you have personality disorders that come about that are more related to trauma than anything.
Yeah.
And I think the conversation needs to be had as to when do we stop coddling these young boys?
Yeah.
But then when do we stop coddling these grown men? Because I'm sorry, I honestly feel like we don't need to have our kids leave home at 18 because our counterparts, they let their kids stay forever. And that's how they can save money. But I do feel like we need to start going back to teaching the babies how to fish instead of just giving them fish, because we're giving these kids too much fish.
The thing about it is nowadays is though, it's not even that. I'll be honest with you, it's social media.
Okay.
To be honest with you.
Okay.
It's social media, it's the technology, internet. It has a lot to do with it because when a child logs into social media or Instagram, for instance, he can log on to TMZ and see what somebody over in California or somebody who parent got boohoo of money doing or whatever. And, now I want it. And I have seen kids who make their parent feel like they're not a parent because they can't support them or buy them what they want or whatever because little Johnny, who moms have $1 million some dollars, can buy him this. But my mom, I don't know if she has $1 million. I know she don't have $1 million, whatever. But she can't buy me the same thing, whatever. So I think a lot of today's time is social media, technology, everything like that. That's one of our big problems. And I'll tell anybody, we need to put down our technology sometime and go back outside.
I agree.
Pick up a book.
I agree.
No, pick up a book and read it and go back out. Watch the news. It's so much that we don't watch or don't know because I mean you sit on your cell phone, you sit on the Facebook, on Instagram, what's going on, but are you really paying that attention? And as a black man, are you really paying that attention? You probably have one black man probably have, let's say, ABC News, but a million girl he's following or whatever. He passed by the ABC News and look at the million females, or he looking at his other guys who have all these big, nice things going on, who have 4 or 5 girlfriends, and no, oh, I want that lifestyle.
And all these fake rollies.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
They have all these nice cars. Oh, I want that lifestyle. He got 6 baby mamas and he's doing this, whatever. I want that lifestyle. But it's because the fact that they're so engaged, like, you know, no, this man got it. Let me have it.
But Holmes, let me ask you this, and LadyJ, let me ask you. I'm asking the both of you. But don't you think if it began when they are knee high to a duck, it would be a little bit different? Because we exposed to the same things, but we got common sense.
I'm about to say, it also depends on how you was raised. You know,
that's what we talked about in the beginning.
You know, I'll tell anybody, I got a cell phone when I was in 9th grade, but at 9 o'clock, that cell phone was in my mother's room. At 6:45, my homework wasn't done. That cell phone was in my mother's room. Mm-hmm. You know, so it's all about how you was raised. And today time, what we dating guys, I'm dating guys 29, you know, up or whatever, 27 and up, and they didn't have that. Their parent wasn't that type of person. I'm putting that cell phone up, or like since the 11th grade, they had a technology they're working with, you know, and that's all because we started with, like y'all say, MySpace and all that. Yep. But now you have Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Tinder, Tag, all that. Yep.
You have all that to look at.
Girl, they even got one just for us, BLK, for black folks. BLK, that make me think about Burger King. I'm hungry.
But I mean, and it's crazy though. But like, you know, I used to say, you can find a guy that I'll put like this. Now we're dating to date. We're actually dating. We're dating to find that person, whatever. But you don't know if that person is dating 2 or 3 other people.
Okay, you know what? Put a plug in it. Because you know what? June is going to be all about serial dating.
Yeah, because you know.
All right, y'all, listen. June, and let's go on and put it out there. The month of June on All Things Authentic is going to be, and I said it right. Authentic. I said it. Y'all don't understand. I always say authentic, but I said authentic. Yes. So June is going to be all about serial dating. Okay. But LadyJ, what are any final thoughts? Do you have any final thoughts? You know, anything you want to say to the men folk out there or the women folk that may be watching?
I first and foremost, I want you to be careful, especially when you're dating anybody, because anything can happen. They can get hurt, anything. We all have to be. I'm not saying don't be vulnerable, but I am saying be cautious and be safe, because us dating these men, I mean, as quiet as it's kept, we all know they're anatomically stronger than us. However, be safe, have fun, and don't let anyone take your happy.
Right.
Don't let anyone take your happy, and just keep that in mind, that when you're happy, you don't let nobody take that happy from you.
That's all right.
And that right there, I believe, because of the person that you are and the person that you have become, because you didn't let the past relationships define who you have become, now they will have a lot more respect for you. And with that respect, you can respect yourself.
Yeah.
Wow, don't let anyone take your happy, and respect yourself.
I agree. I totally agree.
I agree with you too.
I agree.
Wow, guys, this has been the best 75 minutes ever. And LadyJ, thank you for joining us all the way from the West Coast.
Of course, anytime.
We're gonna get out there. We're gonna get out there soon. We're gonna bring the Let's Travel Body Confidence Tour out there. If we can get out there, we will. We will definitely be out there, because I know that you have a lot of movements out there, but I think this movement is unique. And so I definitely appreciate you. Thank you so much for joining us. We will have you back on the business side of things. And so Yes, yes, yes. We look forward to having you back soon.
All right, dear. You guys have a blessed day. I'll see you guys
All right.
later. All right.
Bye.
All right, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. It's time for us to close out. And remember, we always connect and collaborate with Joy, Justice, and Jules. Have a great rest of your Saturday.
Bye.